Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
The New York Jets were ranked surprisingly high in a key NFL metric. We'll talk about what it means and much more. It's the Jake Asman Show. So let's hit it and get it started. Man, our Jets are primed for a historic season. We bleed Jets green each and every day. This is not the same old Jets. We have Aaron freaking Rodgers. We have Garrett Wilson. Let's go. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinnen Williams. The Jets bandwagon is loaded. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show. Here we go, Jets fans. Happy Saturday. The show must go on. Smash the like button. It's that thumbs up icon, and hit the subscribe button on the right-hand side of your screen if you haven't done so already. Joining us today is Gunny Gumby, the great Gunny, down in Houston, Texas, diehard Jet fan from NY Jets Situation Report. Before we get into the conversation with Gunny, a reminder that Huga House dropped a bunch of brand new hats, including the navy blue hat you see on the screen there. Check it out at hugahouse.com. Use my promo code ASMAN at checkout so you can receive 15% off with your purchase. And if you buy one hat with that code, you get the second hat 30% off. So I want to make sure I shout out Huga House because they just released a bunch of brand new hats that are awesome. So check it out, hugahouse.com. Get the hat that Aaron Rodgers is always rocking with promo code ASMAN at checkout. Joining us right now is the aforementioned Gunny Gumby from Houston, Texas, where it's 115 degrees. What's up, man? Gunny?
Yo, Jake, what's good, brother? What's good, man? Glad to be on the show, chopping it up with you, man.
I miss Houston, but I think I moved at the right time to avoid the Houston summer.
You did, man. You did. Like, getting out of there in April was a very wise decision by you. You already know how it gets between freaking May and freaking September. It's like pretty much, I saw a meme the other day that says somebody wanted to visit Houston in August and what's the weather like? And somebody responded, was like, have you ever been cremated before, right? And in all actuality, if you've been in Houston, you know. So, hey, man, you got out of here at a good time. But it's good to be chopping up with you again.
Likewise, my friend. So I wanted to start with an interesting list that came out. So for anyone who is a big-time NFL fan, you might be familiar with the name Warren Sharp. He runs Sharp Football Analysis. Several NFL teams rely on Warren Sharp and his team's information to help them with their evaluation. Sharp at times, I think, can be a bit of a Jet hater, but to be fair to him and his team, they put out a list where they ranked all the position and the position groups across the league. The first part of that list dropped just the other day, and it started with the offensive line. And according to Warren Sharp, whether the Jets are 6 or 7, I'll explain what I mean in a moment, the offensive line rankings are out, and the New York Jets on this list are tied with the Packers for either the 6th or the 7th top offensive line in the league. So you could see the big chart there, which gives you the top 19, but specifically in the breakdown in the article, the Jets are ranked at 7. So they're either 6 or 7, depending on how you look at it. I will read you what Warren Sharp and his team wrote about the Jets O-line, but this is significant. The Jets are tied for our most improved O-line, jumping 18 spots in the rankings from last offseason. The key to the unit's success will be keeping Tyron Smith healthy in 2023. Smith ranked 3rd among tackles with a 3.2% pressure rate allowed. So, look, the Jets on paper, Gunny, I think do have the opportunity to have one of the more successful offensive lines in football coming up. But the fact of the matter is the Jets being ranked at either 6 or 7 in offensive line rankings, the last time the Jets were probably this high, you got to go back to the last time they actually were a good football team with Rex Ryan.
Oh, 100%. I don't think we've seen the Jets ranked this high since the days of like Nick Mangold or Brickashaw Ferguson. It's been a minute since we've been here. And I agree with Warren's take in regards to the massive jump, right? From 18 spots down to number 6, number 7, however you want to grade it. I think people have really not looked at the important factor of the Jets offensive line being an NFL caliber offensive line. I think a lot of people are so focused on the Aaron Rodgers aspect, which is huge, and I get that. But having an offensive line in the top 10 is going to do wonders for this offense. And then not just off of the arm of Aaron Rodgers, but what it can do for an elite running back like freaking Brees Hall. We really haven't seen that man have it a fair way, a fair offensive line help him out in regards to accumulating stats, and he's still been dominating. So I think Warren Sharp makes a very, very good point. This offensive line, I think, again, can be better than 6 if everybody stays healthy, knock on wood. But I couldn't agree with him more, man. This is a huge underrated component of how much the Jets got better this offseason.
If you're watching live, I will put the full article in for the live chat to take a look. So these rankings, I should mention this, are based on guidelines that come from numbers, film, projections, and the rankings were averaged for quarterbacks, running backs, receivers, tight ends, offensive line, defensive front 7, defensive secondary, and head coach. Warren Sharp kind of breaks it down. The way they assign a score, it's based on the average ranks of a positional unit on a 100-point scale for each team out of the 32 teams from the Warren Sharp football staff voters. For example, if all voters had a team at number 1, that score would be 100. Ties are broken by the highest vote on any ballot, just to give people an idea on how this list is compromised here. But just kind of going through it here, I could even remove the little ticker at the bottom here so you can see the top 20. One of the things that to me stands out here is look at the teams that are in front of the Jets. They're all teams besides the Falcons that were in the playoffs a season ago, right? Even the Packers, who were tied with the Jets here, they were a playoff team. Lions, of course, in the championship game. Falcons were similar to the Jets last year. They were just a quarterback away from being a playoff team in a weak division. Eagles, playoff team. Chiefs, Super Bowl champs. So there is a direct correlation to, hey, you have a top 10 offensive line, more times than not, you're a playoff team.
Yeah, that's some great company to be a part of. And again, you're talking about the Super Bowl champions being slightly ahead of the Jets here. When you take into consideration those quarterbacks as well, right, and the running backs ahead of us, the impact of this offensive line, again, I'm excited about what this offense is going to look like. And a lot of people think I'm crazy for saying this, man. Everybody keeps talking to Aaron Rodgers, and again, love Aaron Rodgers, and I think he's going to be great for us. But I believe the impact Aaron Rodgers is going to really have is what it opens up for. Again, I got to go back to Brees Hall. I'm extremely excited to see Brees Hall take over that number 1 running back in the NFL position. I really believe he's going to have the opportunity this season to do exactly that. And that running game with freaking our defense and our special teams, listen, season can't get here fast enough, man. We've been talking about it for so long now. I'm excited. And again, last year, there was a lot of excitement because we brought in freaking Aaron Rodgers, and I know that. We all know that. But in all actuality, this year, we can actually look at this roster and realize, like, this is a well-rounded roster. Last year, we got Aaron Rodgers. It was exciting. We kind of overshadowed some of the concerns on our roster. This year, we're built really well from freaking top to bottom. There's really very few holes on this roster, and I think that in itself is going to be enough to break that freaking playoff drought at the very least for us this season.
Oh, my God. Please sign me the heck up for that. I think a key thing with the offensive line, everyone's going to point to Tyron Smith, and there's no doubt. But the fact of the matter is they have Olu Fashion who's sitting there, and if he has to end up playing due to Tyron Smith not making it through 17 games, you don't feel like you're screwed. I also think Morgan Moses being a bit older, coming off shoulder surgery, maybe he doesn't play all 17 games. So I could see Olu being used at right tackle in some games. I think Olu's going to end up probably playing anywhere from 6 to 9 games this upcoming season. So you have a legit swing tackle. I think Carter Warren with another year of seasoning will end up being better for that. I think really you look at this O-line, and if they could just get decent health, I think they got a damn good they got a damn good offensive line, damn good football team. But let's say they get, a couple injuries, they're just way better off to handle said injuries than they have been in recent years.
100%. And you brought it perfectly. I think the Olu Fashanu, and I think you and I were beating on the drum or whatever you on the table to make sure we went offensive line in the draft. We would have understood the aspect of going with one of the top wide receivers, but the majority of us were like, no, offensive line, 13 different starting rotations last year. It's ridiculous. Nobody's going to be able to survive back there. The Olu Fashanu pick also adds so much more. It's not just that he himself was probably one of the most promising offensive tackles coming out of this draft. He also gets to learn behind Tyron Smith. Tyron Smith is literally actively teaching this kid how to go ahead and be an offensive lineman at the professional level in the NFL. And you've heard Aaron Rodgers talk about how he's heard Tyron Smith talking to freaking Olu Fashanu and how he's really kind of enjoyed that aspect of seeing the growth component. We literally have a guy who should be what we were hoping freaking Mekhi Becton was going to be, right? A legitimate, true left tackle for the New York Jets for the future, for the next 10, 15 years. And he's getting pretty much mentored by one of the greats right now, an all-pro as of last year in Tyron Smith. So this offensive line, I think, is going to go ahead and allow the New York Jets to accomplish a lot in the sense of the offense. I see a lot of offensive records being broken this year. Personally, again, I can't say it enough, man. I can't wait for the season to start so we can start talking about wins on Sundays.
Oh, sign me up. Sign me up. Inject it into my veins. When it comes to the O-line, like everyone's talking about Tyron, and I certainly understand that. To me, if AVT is finally healthy, that changes everything for this group, because we've seen it now 2 years in a row. When he has gotten hurt, they have fallen off a cliff. That's how valuable he is, especially in the run game. Like without AVT, the Jets offensive line just seemingly is not able to allow Brees to pop off those big runs. Like Brees Hall didn't have any 80-yard touchdown runs after the AVT injury, like what Brees was able to do the last 2 years before the Denver game, when then AVT went down in both those games. So look, AVT playing his natural position at right guard with the combination of having a legit right tackle and Morgan Moses next to him. I think Joe Tippmann takes a step in year two. I really do like, at least on paper, the talent this O-line has, but I think AVT is such a big component in all this being, as good as a line as we think it should be.
If you look at it, we have Tyron Smith, who was a top 3 left tackle in the game last year. You have Morgan Moses, who was a top 15 right tackle last year. By the way, top 15 with one arm. So right. He played half the season with just one arm, and he was a top 15 right tackle. We see like you said, AVT, when he's on the field, he's one of the top guards in the game. There's no questioning that. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Tippmann made the all-rookie team for offensive linemen last year, right? So I look at this and I'm like, okay, the biggest question mark is a John Simpson, but we kind of saw him take a next step with the Baltimore Ravens. One thing we can say about the Ravens is they know how to go ahead and develop offensive linemen. So I expect him to go ahead and hopefully take yet another step. Is he going to be a top 15 guy, top 10 guy? Probably not, but you're going to have to go ahead and get somebody to just play at an average to slightly below average on the line. And I'm okay with that. If our left guard is that individual that we're concerned about, right? That's going to be the I would like him to be next to Tyron Smith and next to Joe Tippmann, who has taken dramatic steps as of last year, moving throughout the entire year, going into this year. And again, you talk about the depth. You got guys who actually had to start last year that shouldn't have been starting, who got valuable reps. I don't know if there's many offensive linemen in the league that have backups like us that have valuable starting reps in the league right now. So them having to coming in a pinch. I mean, if I had to say we had to do one more thing, right, I would like to go ahead and bring in another interior offensive lineman. McGovern is still out there. Bring the dude in. I would love that aspect to really feel like, okay, we can handle anything that happens to the offensive line. But in all actuality, that's a want, not a need. Like the offensive line right now is going to be the catalyst that really propels this offense. And again, if Tyron Smith gives us freaking 17 plus games, good. People who are concerned about like, well, we might never see Fashanu. I with you. I think we're going to see Fashanu play 6 to 9. I think 6 to 9 games. I think that's about accurate. But who's going to be mad if Tyron Smith plays the entire season? I'm not going to be mad about that. That's a great problem to have.
The best problem to have is Tyron Smith plays an entire season, and then the thought is, well, let's re-sign Tyron Smith and let's put Olu at right tackle until Tyron Smith retires.
See, now you're talking.
Now we're being positive. Why not?
Talking.
It's June. Let's be positive, baby. Because that's the thing. Everyone assumes Tyron's not going to play a full season. You're probably right. But let's say somehow he plays most of the games and Morgan Moses, God forbid, suffers an injury. I think they would have no hesitation putting Olu out there at right tackle if it's about getting your best 5 on the field.
And unlike Mekhi Becton, Olu has openly stated like he wants to do what he needs to do to help the team. Left tackle, right tackle. He even mentioned in one of the quick snippets that I saw of him, if they need to be at guard, it'd be at guard too, right? I'm like, okay, this is the kind of mentality you want from your young guys trying to go ahead and make an impact by getting on the field. He understands that. So Fashanu has the mental makeup. He has the attitude we're looking for. Overall, good dude. And we know he's got the freaking skill set. So if freaking Tyron Smith has a freaking healthy year and we decide to extend him, by all means, do it. I like the idea of having Tyron Smith on the left and then you got freaking Olu on the right. Again, I don't see a scenario in which, again, the New York Jets, if health is not the major factor, the Jets can't be pushing for, at the very least, an AFC championship appearance.
We're talking with our guy Gunny from NY Jet Situation Report. Please hit the like button if you're just tuning in. It helps the channel grow. Subscribe and share this link to all your Jet fans in your Facebook groups, on Instagram, Twitter, etc. Shout out to everyone tuning in for a Saturday show here in the month of June. Before we get into some more topics with Gunny, I'm excited to share that we have a brand new channel emoji. Folks, I'm going to issue a warning to everyone out there because I see Sarah is watching this show. So, fellas, please calm your freaky down.
Calm your freaky down.
The freaky emoji is live, baby. It is live. It is real. It is spectacular. Shout out to all the Asmaniacs for making it happen. We will add our next emoji if we get 40 more members. So maybe we could do that during the show. We are 40 away. So hit the join button if you haven't, and we will be able to add another channel emoji. But Gunny, you know how it goes. So a female Jets fan comes into the chat, people go wild. We gotta issue a warning.
Calm your freaky down.
Yeah, we do the same thing on our show whenever Abby comes on. We got to remind these individuals, like, at the end of the day, calm down, boys. We're here to talk about the Jets. Relax a little bit. So I get it.
Come on, man. Family show, folks. Family.
I
show.
like good-looking chicks in that family. Wow.
Bobby.
Oh yeah, baby. Things are about to get crazy here on the Jake Asman Show.
Calm your freaky down.
Sometimes we try, but that freaky just take us over.
Give him some of your loving voice.
Oh yeah, hide them kids.
Again, leave your damn freaky down.
Too you sexy.
you gotta chill, man. Come on now.
Man.
Hit the like button.
That's the
Oh,
production
baby.
level, man. I'm telling you, the production level you got going on over there, Jake, is next level, man. Top tier stuff.
Shout out to our guy, the great Gator McCluskey, for that one. All right. Hit the like button. Send in your super chats, channel memberships. We'll make it rain, all that good stuff. Before we open it up, though, Gunny, some other topics with the Jets I want to get your thoughts on. How do you feel about this Hassan Reddick situation? Any concern it lingers into training camp, or dare I say the regular season?
Yeah, so the Hassan Reddick situation, man, it's kind of frustrating to me. And at first, I did what every Jets fan did. I was blaming freaking JD for making such a move and not re-signing Huff in pursuit of a Hassan Reddick. But then you hear how the Jets were very strategic in terms of having a conversation with him, making him aware that they could find ways to potentially, bump up his guaranteed money for the year, but they weren't going to reevaluate. They weren't going to restructure it right now. Play out the year. We'll see what happens next year. He gave him the thumbs up. He was on board. So I think it kind of like switched my mentality a little bit in regards to how he's handled the situation. Now, personally, I'm on the boat of no. I don't want to pay Hassan Reddick freaking a rip. I don't want to give this dude 3-4 years, $25+ million a year. He's 29 years old, a guy who relies on his speed ability quite a bit to be effective in the pass rush. And I think he's great. I think he's a great player, and I understand what he's done over the last 4 years. But I love myself some freaking Jermaine Johnson. I love myself some Sauce Gardner. I love myself some DJ Reed. Love myself some Michael Carter, Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall. I want to pay our guys, right? So if the agreement was when they spoke with him, listen, man, you play out, we're going to put you next to freaking Quinnen Williams. You're going to ball out. You'll get the bag next year. Then stick to your word. Come out there, play football, do what you're going to do, get your 10+ sack season. Go get paid. If they just decide to pay him after the season, I'm not going to be mad about it, depending on what those numbers look like. But right now, you haven't done anything for the Jets yet. Everything you've accomplished was, again, for the Eagles, and I get that. You told us you were going to come play here on your current contract. So the fact that he has
Doggone wild.
So yeah, my daughter came down the stairs. The fact that he hasn't, to me, is kind of frustrating. So for me, I don't believe he's going to go ahead and take this into training camp. I don't believe he's going to go ahead and take this into the regular season. It's all about the money for him. And the fines, if I'm not mistaken, come training camp, they're not like, you can't waive those. If you start missing training camp, your fines are going to be set in stone. You're going to have to pay those. So I don't believe he's going to go ahead and allow it to go into training camp. He'll be there. He's not going to sit out this freaking season. The leverage really, in my opinion, is in the Jets court. Worst case scenario, what? We bring out Will McDonald to go ahead and get more snaps. I'm okay with that. So it's frustrating that it even became a thing, but when I realized that they had an agreement already in place, somebody got into Hassan's ear and things kind of changed since then. I stand with Joe D on this one, and I hope they don't freaking force themselves to get into a contract situation where we know there's players that are homegrown that we want to go ahead and keep in the house.
Expectations this season, Gunny. What to you are you expecting? What do you need to see at the bare minimum from the 2024 New York Jets?
At the bare minimum is a playoff win. The bare minimum is a playoff win. I don't think there's a situation or a scenario where I will accept anything else. I know the injury thing has been something they've been able to rely on the last couple of years, and some of us have allowed it, some of us haven't. The coaching staff, I think, is the biggest concern when it comes to how far the Jets can go. Can Coach Saleh go ahead and take it to another level? Can Nathaniel Hackett be an average or competent freaking offensive coordinator that Aaron Rodgers can rely on when things get a little dicey? We don't know that. We don't know that. But I do believe this team is so talented that in spite of that, they can still get to the playoffs and win a playoff game. And I believe if it's Aaron Rodgers, if it's freaking Tyrod Taylor, the team is that talented that they can go ahead and get to the playoffs and win a game. I think ultimately for me, if the coaching staff takes a step forward, we should be talking AFC Championship game, right? And once you get there, whatever happens, happens, right? But I think for us, at bare minimum, if you're a Jets fan, a playoff win is the minimum. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Win the AFC East would be great. I don't care about that. Just get into the playoffs, and you need to get a win. If not, I mean, this season was a complete bust. The Aaron Rodgers experiment might be considered a failure if you don't at least achieve that.
100%. Playoffs, win at least one playoff game. For me, the regular season goal, win the damn division, man. Because if not now, then when? And also, we were talking about the Sharp Football Analysis offensive line list. I think it's telling on this list. The Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins, they don't even crack the top 20 on this list right here. You look at where their offensive lines are, and they're not great. I don't love what Miami's been able to do this offseason. I certainly don't think the Bills have had a great offseason, trading away Diggs and basically half their defense due to, leaving in free agency or cap cuts, not being brought back. The Bills are 22nd on the O-line list. The Dolphins are 25. Like, to me, the Jets, if they had just brought Aaron Rodgers back and didn't do much else, they're a better team than 7 wins from a year ago. And they have made significant improvements to the O-line, significant improvements to the receiver room. Obviously, I think, improved going from Bryce Huff, who I love, but he's not Hassan Reddick, not yet anyway, at least for this year. Like, I think the Jets are the best team in the AFC East, and the goal should be win this damn division for the first time since 2002.
100%. The AFC East title would be a cherry on top, right? I think if we can go ahead and add that to it, you're talking about home playoff games. That's an advantage that, you're not traveling. That helps out quite a bit as well. I would love an AFC East title, man. If not for anything, just for the pure bragging rights against the Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins. Sometimes, when we're in these debates back and forth, especially with one team that's never won a Super Bowl before, another team that hasn't won a playoff game since 2000, they only talk about the regular season successes as to why they consider themselves better than the Jets. So an AFC East freaking title would go a long way to slapping those guys in the face. So I'm all about it. But again, for me, I think the AFC East championship is the cherry on top. But man, we have got to get a playoff win.
Amen.
We've got to get a playoff win.
Amen, dude. I can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore.
It's a lot.
Hit the like button if you're watching this live right now. We said we needed 40 more members to get a new channel emoji. Well, we only need 35 more after Day Boss 17 has made it rain. Listen to that rain. It's raining memberships, Gunny. I hear it. Get your Gustbuster umbrellas. Holy hell. Ladies and gentlemen, if you hear your name called, you are a channel member. Michael DeRuse, John Malik, Carl DuBois, Joseph Baresi, Jose Duran. You guys are all officially channel members. Whoa! I'm getting drenched in here. All right, let's keep going. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Shout out to everyone that's in here on a Saturday AM, watching, listening to some Jets content in June. That's when you know you are a real diehard. This super chat from JJ. I put JJ in the hole for 24 hours because he was just spouting nonsense yesterday. He writes in, y'all blame JD for last year. He doubled down on Zach Wilson, didn't get a quality backup. JD has only one good draft, one good offseason, but he's better than Mike T. How? Question mark. There was a big debate on the show, Tannenbaum versus Joe Douglas. And my thoughts on it are right now, you can't say Douglas is better than Tannenbaum. However, I think you could say that Douglas has maybe built a more sustainable winner if Rodgers goes out there and plays in this 2-year window coming up. Because I think it's a better team that they have, at least on paper, than the team that Tannenbaum put together with Rex in 2010.
Yeah, so I mean, listen, Mike T, you give him credit for bringing us some quality seasons, right? And I think a lot of us as Jets fans, and if you've been a Jets fan, since before that era, that's the last time we saw quality football, is that Rex Ryan era. Man, but in terms of yeah, man, I think I'm with you, man. I think in terms of sustainable talent, considered growth, and the ability to do this long term, building a roster, in my opinion, the right way, we're doing that right now, man. We've got a cornerstone wide receiver that's legitimately, I believe, a guy that can be a top 10 guy in the NFL at worst. Got a top freaking running back who I think is going to be RB1 come next season once he's had a full season back from that ACL injury, and a legitimate offensive line and support around him on the offense. I mean, the defensive line, you're talking about freaking JJ. I love JJ. Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed, Michael Carter, the gems we found on the defensive side of the football. I don't know, man. A lot of people look at Joe D and they're going to hold Mekhi Becton and they're going to hold Zach Wilson against them. And I get it. I take into consideration the COVID year where he initially did his first draft, and that was a weird era. Everybody was reaching for straws. The whole Zach Wilson debate, let's talk about it. Everybody in that quarterback class has been trash. It's not as if like there was a stud that you could say Trevor Lawrence is possibly the best one of them all, but he's been drastically underperformed in terms of what was expected. The guy leads the league right now in turnovers since coming into the league. I'm not making excuses for Jody, because you got to win at some point. You know what I'm saying? You've been here for 4 years, now going on 5 years. You've got to freaking win. We haven't seen that. But I'll say this, Mike T gave us the best football we've seen of the 21st century as Jets fans. And I think Jody's built the best roster we've seen as Jets fans in the 21st century. That's where I go with it.
I think you're 100% fair in that analysis. Ladies and gentlemen, James Caffiero, the latest to make it rain.
More rain.
Whoa, baby.
A monsoon now.
I'm getting drenched. I can't believe what's happening here, folks. If you hear your name called, you're a channel member. Bill Fun, Paul, BX Farrell, Happy Tanking, JK. Congratulations. You are a channel member. Let's go. That's up to 10. I said we needed 40. We need 30 now for a new emoji. What should our next emoji be? Make sure you guys continue to like and subscribe to the channel. All right. This one's from Dan, the Jet fan, who writes in, happy Saturday, Jake and Gunny. How do you feel about Braylon Allen? I feel like he gets overlooked due to Brees, but could he be a solid RB2? Your thoughts on the Jets rookie, Gunny?
Listen, so when we grabbed Braylon Allen, I didn't think that was going to be feasible. I thought he was going to be a guy going by round 3. I was very, very shocked he was there for us in the 5th round. Braylon Allen, to me, is more exciting than I thought he was going to be coming in. I thought he was going to be a great complementary to Brees Hall. The guy has really good burst, really good balance. He's a big dude, so he can go ahead and run through individuals, although he prefers, in my opinion, too many times to go ahead and juke people out and go around them. He can go ahead and put his foot down and run through people. I think the Jets are going to go ahead and try to coach him into that aspect of his game. But what surprised me the most is all the reports coming out of camps thus far that the kid's got hands. He can catch the ball. He can go ahead and run some routes. He's done some impressive catches also coming out of the backfields. I wasn't expecting that level in his game. You didn't see him do it much in Wisconsin. So I wasn't expecting that to be an aspect we needed to look forward to. So I really thought for us, whenever he came out there, he was going to put his foot in the ground, boom, you know what I'm saying, hit the A-gap, and he was going to be gone, right? He was going to run. But now you can go ahead and throw him out there, and he can go ahead and come out of the backfield and catch the ball too. That's another element to his game that we weren't expecting. But now that we're hearing that he can do that when asked, that's a plus. I think, if I'm being honest with you, man, Brees Hall is him. I think Brees Hall, without question, is a top runner. Call me a homer, but I think he's the best running back in football, and this is why. You got Christian McCaffrey, who's doing it right now with one of the best supporting casts. He's got one of the best freaking offensive minds at coaching him as well. A lot of help out there in San Francisco for Christian McCaffrey to be doing what he's doing. For Brees Hall to come in second in terms of all-purpose yards last year behind that offensive line with no quarterback whatsoever to respect, the most stacked boxes of any running back in the NFL, and Nathaniel Hackett as his offensive coordinator, who, mind you, didn't even realize he could play ball until midseason. and still finishes second in terms of all-purpose yards, Brees Hall to me is the best running back in football. We haven't seen it yet until this season, but I think he's RB1. So Brandon Allen, though, I think is going to be one heck of a compliment to this guy. I think whenever Brees Hall steps off the field, you don't got to worry about pretty much the running game taking a step backwards, because I think he's going to surprise a lot of individuals. And if I'm being honest, he might be the reason that ultimately the Jets might not give Brees Hall the second contract, because you never give a running back a second contract because it's just how the game is worked nowadays. The value is not there. I think Brandon Allen could be that guy. He could be a cause that they might decide to go ahead and not give Brees Hall a big-time contract when that time comes.
I love it as far as your breakdown on Brees, because I really think not enough people just know how special this guy is. And we talked about offensive lines at the beginning of this show. Here's a reminder on some of the nonsense Brees Hall had to deal with last year.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the stacked boxes on these plays, and you tell me where Brees Hall is supposed to go here. He will not face, for most of this season, a single 8-man box, because Aaron Rodgers will just check out of it like we saw in the brief preseason drives he played last year and just get it out to his playmaker, whether it be Garrett Wilson or Mike Williams or Corley. Like, Brees Hall had one of the best seasons by any running back in football last year, second in yards from scrimmage among running backs behind McCaffrey, behind one of the worst offensive lines, the worst quarterback room, and a play caller who admitted he didn't realize how good he was as a receiver until after week 8. So, like, when you see these plays here, it's really just astonishing how bad the Jets O-line was, how bad everything was, yet Brees still went out there and had an unbelievable season. And in theory, with the Jets O-line now being a top 10 O-line, should go out there and maybe be in the conversation, I believe, if he's healthy, for the Offensive Player of the Year award.
Yeah, 100%. He's my front runner for Offensive Player of the Year award. I got Rodgers potentially as the Comeback Player of the Year award. But I actually believe Brees Hall this year, call me a homer if you want to, but I actually believe he's going to get MVP votes. That's how well I think Brees Hall is going to ball out this year. He's going to be getting MVP votes, but without question for me, I already put money on it. He's Offensive Player of the Year. Again, knock on wood, everybody, not even everybody, but the majority of our offensive line can stay healthy. I think Brees Hall is going to easily be the guy that's Offensive Player of the Year.
Peter Castro cuts the line because he once gave us a $500 super chat. Jets are solid on both sides of the ball. 14-3, no doubt Brees, best back in football. 14-3 for the Jets. What say you, Gunny? You like that?
Okay, so 14-3, I love it. I love the enthusiasm. Again, it's June. We can go ahead and swing for the fences all we want to in June. For me, I got the Jets winning anywhere from 11 to 13 games this season. I feel more comfortable at 12-5. And that would be enough to not only win the AFC East, but it's in my opinion, that's going to be tops in the AFC. I think 12 wins in the AFC is going to be the top for this season. But 14-3, man, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. And again, it's June. We can swing for the fences all we want to. And there's the crazy thing is, when you say that, nothing says you're wrong, because really, I don't go look at any game this season and think the Jets can't beat any team they play against. Again, top 5 defense, top 5 special teams, a much improved offense, and we have a legitimate quarterback behind center now. So 14-3 sounds ridiculous when you're talking about the Jets, but in all actuality, when you look at the game, is there a game you look at and you're like, yeah, it's definitely a loss? There's no games that are definite losses when you look at this Jets freaking schedule.
No, and there's a reason why they're, as of now, favorites in 14 of their 17 games. Like, this team is expected to be good.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, JJ is doubling down on the madness. Here we go. $10 from JJ. We love you, JJ, so we will acknowledge your super chats. This isn't a sustainable team nor best roster. We are putting our faith in an injury-filled O-line and a 40-year-old quarterback coming off his worst season due to injuries, followed by season-ending injury, JD year 6. I mean, objectively speaking, JJ, to me, the Jets have one of the most talented rosters in football. Are we really going to argue that? Like, where are they weak? You want to tell me you're a little concerned with Rodgers? Fine. I think they have proven the last 2 years that if they just get average quarterback play, they're a playoff team. And I think Aaron Rodgers will play at an above-average level. And if he does get hurt, they have a competent backup that they can win with in Tyrod Taylor. So I'm not going to sit here and say that they don't have an opportunity to go on a deep playoff run. Yeah, Joe Douglas is in year 6. It's his 5th full off season. There's no excuses for him. There's no excuses for the head coach. Unfortunately for you, JJ, we can't sit here and project and talk about the future of the Jets till we see what happens in 2024. So as we sit here right now in June, I'm going to be optimistic and excited because I really think they have a damn good team.
Yeah, and when I see the JD 6 year, I'm sorry, I just can't count the first year that JD walked in there and had really no say in the freaking draft or any of the moves made as he came in like mid off season. So I know a lot of people will say like, well, it's year 6, but that was literally Adam Gase's year 1. But yes, in terms of being the Jets GM, yes, 6 years. But in terms of him making the decisions, he's going into year 5. But in terms of sustainable team, I don't understand how you look at this roster and don't see the youth riddled across this roster. You've got Brees Hall, 22 years old. You've got Garrett Wilson, 23 years old. You've got freaking Sauce Gardner, 22 years old. You've got JJ, 23 years old. Like across the board, you've got a bunch of young talent, like stars on this roster who are going to be the cornerstone of your roster moving forward. Even on the offensive line, Joe Tippmann showed lots of promise for going into last year. So your center might be set. You just brought in Olu Fashanu, who was arguably the best pass protector of all the offensive linemen in the draft. There are cornerstone pieces at every level of this team. Your linebacker group, yeah, you got CJ Mosley, but you also got freaking Quincy, who's 26 years old. Like, what? Yes, this is a team that I believe is sustainable because across the board, you've got playmakers in every freaking facet of the roster that are young or on their first contracts and are studs at their positions. Yes, I get it. You're talking about Tyron Smith and you're talking about Morgan Moses. Got it. They're older. Morgan Moses, by the way, has always played. He's more of an Iron Man than anything else. So really on the offensive line, injury prone wise, you're talking about Tyron Smith and AVT off of some freak injuries. Other than that, where's the injuries that you're talking about? 40-year-old quarterback coming off the Achilles. Okay, cool. It's the first time in his career he's ever had an injury this massive, and the guy before that was also an Ironman, played every game, played with a broken thumb. That worst season you're talking about, the worst Aaron Rodgers season you're talking about was a top 10 statistically speaking season. Imagine that. For the Jets, that horrible season would have taken us deep into the playoffs. That's how bad Aaron Rodgers' worst season was. So I look at this, man, and again, it's June. And from what I'm looking at, from what the majority of people are looking at, this is a roster that's going to compete. The biggest question mark is always going to be injury. But you know what? That's a question mark for every team. The only difference is we've got a couple of guys who've been recently injured, and that's the problem.
Amen. Hit the like button. Great takes here from Gunny, who's joining us here on a Saturday morning. This one's from Adam, who wrote in, we're going to see Olu on short weeks. I don't hate that idea. If you're trying to keep Tyron Smith healthy for the long haul, and you're the Jets and you're going to play a lot of primetime games, which means you're going to have some short weeks. If you could rest Tyron Smith before a Thursday night game, that's not the worst idea in the world. Or, you play Monday night, it's a short week. He may not be ready for the following Sunday. You want to give him an extra breather. Maybe it's like the game right before the bye. I can see the Jets, depending on how they do, how they start, what the record is, who the opponent is. I can see this being deployed at some point where, hey, you give him an extra week off if you feel confident Olu could sub in if you're playing a poor team that week. Like I don't hate the idea on seeing Olu on the weeks the Jets have a short week.
That's genius, Adam. I think that's a great idea. I didn't even ponder about that, but bringing Olu out there on those short weeks to give Tyron Smith more time to rest and recover. I love that. I think that's freaking genius. It makes a lot of sense when you're talking about pretty much trying to extend him out through the entire season. The thing is, Tyron Smith, man, a lot of people think he's like an old guy. He's 32, I believe. He's 32 years old. In terms of offensive lineman, that's really not old. Yes, the injuries have been a concern. There's no ifs, but since 2015, I believe, is the last time he played a full season. But last year, he played his most. I think it's like 13 games. But one thing we got to love about him is he's never missed any playoff games. So even though he struggles throughout the season, when it comes to the postseason, he's going to be available. So we can find a way to kind of like tailor it out and stretch it out a little bit more by plugging in Olu in those short weeks. I love it. That's a great idea. Something that, I mean, heck, if anybody on the Jets is watching Jake, do Jake things right now, this is a good suggestion right here. You bring in a guy like Olu on those short weeks, let's extend Tyron Smith over that freaking 20-plus game season that we're hoping that we're going to get out of him.
I like it. I like that idea a lot. If you like that idea, hit the like button. If the Jets could basically do a little load management for Tyron Smith on short weeks. And this really comes down to how far Olu progresses, and the early returns on Olu have been positive. They from what I have heard, he's been impressive in these OTAs and mini camps so far, and he's like a sponge learning from Tyron Smith and Morgan Moses, which you love to hear.
Yeah, and that's what you want to hear from a young guy, right? Who's very, very receptive to mentorship, very, very receptive to coaching, to where like he's not only hearing it, getting that advice, but you're seeing him put it into action when he's on the practice field. I'm looking forward to seeing training camp, pop up, and I know a lot of you are going to be out there, so I'll be following Jets content creators who are out there giving us the tea, and I appreciate y'all out here in Houston. I don't get all the insights of the training camp, but I'm looking forward to seeing him just take another step even further in training camp when everybody's on, the pads are on, a little more contact. Because again, you can't really grade offensive linemen, defensive linemen, etc., until you can put the pads on and kind of get into that contact mode. But everything you've heard thus far is positive. This is a guy who's listening to the information. Again, high IQ guy as well, right? So he's the kind of guy who's going to take that knowledge and try to apply what he's learned because he's a high IQ guy and he's got the physical tools necessary to be able to implement such. So Tyron Smith right now being in that room with Olu Fashanu is another bonus we really are not taking into consideration the addition that he brings. Yes, he might not give us a full season, but he's going to be that proof source for a guy like Olu Fashanu to go ahead and learn from, and maybe he's going to accelerate his freaking growth when it comes to playing offensive linemen.
Well said. This one is from Georgie with a super chat. Bobby for president. Oh, baby. Yeah. Bobby Midnight, who broadcasted until 6 a.m. last night on the Bobby Midnight Show. So
wow.
Let's open it up to some calls now. And first up on the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline is the aforementioned Bobby Midnight.
Well, I need to find Matt O'Leary. He's supposed to come on my show. I want his butt on a stick. Bobby.
Hey, Jake and Gunny, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, Bobby?
You know who gave the Georgie? Remember I told you the Sports Fury channel?
Sure.
He goes to their channel.
Love it.
He follows me too at my channel too.
Oh, nice.
Tremendous. Bobby, when's your next show after your 10 hours of live last night?
Of course, after your show.
Oh, yeah, baby. The show must go on.
Hey, Gunny, that keep your freaky down, that was concerning me. Yeah. Oh.
No, 100%. I know, Bobby.
I like good-looking chicks in that thing. Wow.
Bobby.
Oh, yeah, baby. Things are about to get crazy here on the Jake Asman Show.
Calm your freaky down.
Sometimes we try, but that freaky just take us over.
Give him some of your loving voice.
Oh, yeah, hide them kids.
Again, leave your damn freaky down.
Too sexy.
you gotta chill, man. Calm your freaky down, Bobby.
King Lowski always says that to me in my chat all the time. Hey, and also remember, Ted, right? No, Ted, right?
Oh, of course, the teddy bear.
From Florida.
No, the guy that is best friends with Mark Wahlberg.
No, the guy in chat from Florida.
It doesn't ring a bell.
Oh, Jets, New York, Florida.
Oh,
yeah. Well, he gave me a suggestion.
What was that?
Put my Venmo on the bottom.
Your Venmo?
I made $75 last night.
Oh, all right. Well, let's Venmo Bobby right now at Robert-Woodruff-14.
Yeah. Guess who? The guy. He what's his name? No, man.
South Ass?
No, not Rick Kent gave me $50 yesterday.
Wow, very nice.
They gave me 20, and Dre they gave me $5, so 75 altogether.
What are you doing with that money, Bobby? You going to the strip club?
No, I'm saving it up for the home opener.
Nice.
Ooh,
yeah, we're gonna be at the home opener. So, yeah, I like the Allen guy. I like the running back, Gunny. I do like him.
Yeah,
I think he's gonna have what's his name? Brees Hall and him are gonna be a good tandem right together.
Yeah, B. Allen, man, you know what I'm saying? Agent Zero. I'm excited to see that dude get some reps. Again, I feel like when we got to sit Brees Hall, we don't have to worry about the running game taking a step backwards.
Right.
I'm not saying he's as elite as Brees Hall. I want to make sure I'm clarify that. Brees Hall is on a whole other level. I think the guy has elite vision, elite burst. It's weird when you see the kid run. He doesn't look like he runs very fast, but he just literally he glides. He glides and creates separation.
Yeah.
I think Brees is freaking a freak. But Braylon Allen I think he's got great potential, like real great potential. So I'm excited to see.
What do they always call it? The Thunder and Lightning or something?
Yeah,
Thunder and Lightning. Yep.
Yeah. And then the Yankees won 16-5 yesterday, Jake.
Yeah, I'm aware, Bobby. I'm aware.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. And the Mets beat the Astros. Hey, smelly Astros went down.
I love seeing them lose. Love seeing them lose.
What else did okay, I do like Aaron Rodgers gonna have a good year. He's gonna throw for 30 touchdowns and 10 interceptions.
Sign me up for that.
Jets are gonna be 12-5.
Bobby, I like the takes this morning. Excellent job out of you. We will see you on the Bobby Midnight Show.
Yeah, bye. Gunny, you're invited too anytime you want.
All right, Bobby, I'll be there.
Okay,
Well,
bye, guys.
you know, I've grown to love my buddy Alan, but South-Ass has to go. I threw him off my show. Bobby!
Gunny, you better go on that show, man. Otherwise, you'll be like Matt O'Leary, who Bobby wants his butt on a stick.
Very well. Yeah, now hold on. So he was on from last night to 6 this morning. Is that accurate?
The show just never ends. If I'm not live, Bobby Midnight is live. Those are the rules.
Oh, very well. Very well. So he understands. When Jake is live, kill it. We're not doing that.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rick Kent is getting in on the membership fund. We're up to 15 memberships. I think we need, I said 40 before the show. So you do the math. We're getting closer and closer to our next channel emoji. But before we get into more of your calls, let's first say thank you, Rick Kent.
Money, 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 money.
All right, here we go. Deborah, 6'4", Michael Dinapolis, Randy 2'3", Nagna Oboko, and Daniel Meza. You guys are all officially as Maniacs. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your support. Thank you to Rick Kent for his generous donation. Shout out to Rick Kent for sending Bobby a $50 Venmo as well. That's awesome. Love this community. Awesome. The big fella with a super chat. Just read, Pat's O-line is in trouble. They have put Owenu at guard and are starting a guy who's never played left tackle. Week 3 will be a massacre. There is nothing I want more than blood on the Patriots. I want them to destroy the New England Patriots in that home opener, which I will be at week 3.
Yeah, listen, I have hate for very few things. Very few things in my life irk me to the point where they require my energy to hate them. But the Patriots are one of those things. Patriots are one of the things that I have a lot of hate for. I hate the organization. I hate everything from the owner all the way down to their freaking ball boys. I heard the same thing, big fella. I was noticing that there was making some changes around. There was some concerns coming out of a couple of the Patriots podcasters that I follow, just because I love to know how bad things are going, because you can always tell by how their podcasts are. Love to go ahead and sneak in there and catch some bad news. They're not very confident in Drake May. Their offensive line looks atrocious right now. The only thing they have positive right now for them is the defensive side of the football. But even their defensive line right now apparently has not lived up to par in freaking training camp. So I'm loving it for them. I want the worst things for them. And again, when we play against them, I do hope we dominate. I'm talking about rack the score up. I don't care if it gets throw for touchdowns after touchdowns. I want to be one of those things where they look at us and they think, wow, the Jets were really unsportsmanlike. They kept on scoring on the pay. I want that for them. I want that for the Patriots. So good. This is good news for us.
Oh my God. Sign me up, man. Blood. And you know what's good about the Patriots? They play them twice in the first 10 weeks. So that needs to be 2 wins right there.
100%.
Stack the wins.
Yep.
Stack them. Stack the memberships. It's raining. Oh, here we go, baby. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. If you hear your name called, we got a lot of memberships here. Dre Correa. How about 5 from Dre? Cali Jet 50. Christian Magnano. Lex, Kalka, Anthony L. You are all channel members. Not So Sane has made it rain. Bryce Hayden, The Mott Zone, Thomas Cabal, Brandon Frey, D-Rock. You are all channel members. And wait, that's not all, folks. Mike D's Nuts. You might be saying, wait, who? Yeah, that's right. That guy, Mike D's Nuts.
Hey, thank you, Mike D's Nuts. Hey, for another gifted membership. Hey.
If you hear your name called, you're a member thanks to Mike D's Nuts, Green Vibes, Equality Redemption LLC, Mad Willie, Jonathan Dub74, Ross. You are all channel members courtesy of who?
Is this Mike D's Nuts?
You bet your ass it is.
So you need 15 more. If my math is right, you need 15 more.
15 more, and a new membership is coming in. Make that 10 more.
10
Not
more.
so sane, baby.
Money, 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 money.
Hour of the Asmaniacs on a Saturday is undefeated. Kevin Hayes, Paul Bruno, David White, Hype, Jay-Z Jet Fan. You guys are all officially Asmaniacs. Let's go. All right, let's keep going now with some of your calls as we're hanging out with the great Gunny Gumby of the NY Jet Situation Report. Make sure you guys subscribe to his channel. He might have the best backdrop among Jet content creators. Look at that man cave, Gunny.
I appreciate y'all, man. The wife put this together for me. Took all my memorabilia and decided to go ahead and cultivate it to this, my little man cave studio. So shout out to the wife on this one.
Love it. Ladies and gentlemen, Tommy's up next. What's up, Tommy?
Jake, what's up, from my brother?
Tommy, what's up, dude?
Gunny, what's good, my man?
Hey, what's up,
All
Tommy,
right.
man? Love those glasses, bro, and love the boonie cover.
Yo, I love your man cave, dude. I wish I had that
Appreciate
behind
it.
me.
I
One love.
appreciate you,
Yo,
bro.
I wanted to shout this out to you, Gunny. Like everything you say, it's like you're speaking what's in my mind. So like you're awesome, dude. Like
Appreciate
anything
you,
from Brees Hall being the best running back in the league to having definitely, I said this earlier, but then I said Tyrod Taylor in special packages, but definitely like sub out our big boy and let Fashanu get in there. You know, give him a little bit of a break since, you know, we want him healthy for the most important part of the season. When we win the division, when we get to once we win that division, we get a home game. We want our left tackle, Tyron Smith, to be healthy. So in order for that to happen, it would be great to have our rookie, Fashanu, whatever you want to call his name, to be plugged in at certain spots in the game. What else? I got it all written down on paper, Jake. I'm going to be fast, I swear.
Nice.
Yeah, we win the division. We get a home playoff game. Once we get to the playoffs, anything happens, and I think we're unstoppable if we have our health. If Aaron Rodgers is healthy, our team's healthy, we get into the playoffs and win that division, there's nobody stopping us. And 1 point, Gunny, and to Jake, but mostly Gunny, I want to throw it out to you. I don't want to mention anyone's show, but Mr. Midnight's the man. All right, he went on for I was on an hour 4. I only caught up to hour 4. I think it was 8 hours total, more than that. He's the man. But what Scotty, our boy that likes to chase the ducks, and I love the fact that Nate brought up that Darrelle Revis was a great tackler on the outside. Like he could tackle. And Scott brought up a couple times that Sauce Gardner, he's not a tackler. He can't tackle. If you run it to his side, it's an easy run, blah, blah, blah. The thing is, Sauce Gardner is a shutdown cornerback. He's meant to cover wide receivers. He's not meant to tackle. And when he has to tackle, he sticks his nose in there. And the point that he was bringing up is that if you run it like on goal line, Sauce's way, like it's a weak thing. It's like if our D ends and our linebackers can't get that running back on goal line, why would you ever look at a cornerback to come up and make a tackle on goal line, dude?
Well, I'll tell you what, Tommy. I actually think Sauce is a pretty good tackler from what we've seen. So I don't agree with that assessment. I think Sauce has proven to be an all-around football player.
Yeah, the whole Sauce can't tackle thing, I think we've kind of seen him kind of rebuke that a little bit. I apologize. These dogs are going off because my kid and that should stop the barking. But yeah, the Sauce Gardner can't tackle thing, I think people say that because you've seen a couple of times where he has been kind of like carried a little bit, but the dude puts the effort in there. And he also has really good technique when it comes to tackling. Now, he is lighter. If we're being honest, he's a lighter guy. So ultimately, big guys can take advantage of that. Whereas I think Darrelle Revis being more short and more freaking more compact, he was able to go ahead and hang with some of those bigger guys because, again, he's more compact. But I disagree. I'm with you, Jake. I don't think Sauce is a horrible tackler. I think he's an above-average tackler, if you ask me. I'm not going to say he's an elite tackler. If he had a weakness to his game, okay, sure. Maybe the tackling, we would love it to be elite as well. But he's definitively an above-average tackler in my opinion.
Yeah, look, Revis to me was better at that.
Yeah, no
Revis
question.
was, but like that. I mean, Revis is one of the best of all time. Like Sauce is on his way to hopefully being at that level. But like, yeah, I mean, like, believe me, there's no issues with Sauce Gardner as a football player. He's the best in the league in his position.
Yeah.
Yeti writes in, Jake dropping Saturday morning content's a beautiful thing. Hope my wife sleeps in. Sup, family. Shout out to you, Yeti. Appreciate
What's
you
up,
tuning
Yeti?
in. The show must go on, folks. We did 2 shows Monday through Friday every day. We give you a weekend show. I mean, come on now. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. It's the Jake Asman Show, baby. We love the Asmaniacs. Let's see. We'll get to more of your calls here coming up. Open phone lines for those who want in on the conversation. Tom wrote in that Forrest Gump just saved Lieutenant Dan and Bubba in Vietnam on the Paramount Network. Just a heads up. So this was at 11:09. So Tom, give us an update. Where are they at currently in Forrest Gump on the Paramount Network?
Great movie. One of my favorites.
One of the best.
Yeah.
All right. More of your calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now is the great B-Mac. Hello, B-Mac.
Hey, guys.
B-Mac.
Hey, Gunny.
What's up, man?
It's good to see you again. Jake, great. Yeah, I just want to call in to say that, Bobby, I will be on your show today for the first time. So I'm looking.
Wow.
Yeah. And the other thing is that it's kind of comical still that we like people like we like about to be 3 weeks in and people are still bringing up the Rodgers and minicamp thing, and we have these like nobodies now, like these former players. Like I think there was like Sean King, who was a quarterback from Tampa. He came out and bashed Rodgers, and then we had somebody else, another former player. He didn't bash Rodgers. He just voiced his opinion under her. I think Jason McIntyre was subbing in. I think he was a wide receiver from the Rams when they was with the Great Show on Turf, and he came out and voiced his opinion. Like, do you think? Because it's funny, because we never hear these players come out and say nothing about Rodgers before. And now after all this time, now he does something that's kind of like out there. Do you think these players need to get their name out? And it's like, say negative something about Aaron Rodgers, and now they know who now they know who these players are.
Yeah, look, I think people do use the Jets and use Aaron Rodgers' name to generate reaction because Jet fans, we react. I think that's been
100%.
proven.
Yep. Yeah, like I think we saw with the whole Florio thing too the other day, right? Like it became a thing because the 25th ranked team, I think, intentionally speaking, Florio knew exactly what he was doing. There's no way even he believes that. There's no way anybody could look at this Jets freaking team and think they're outside of the top 10 in terms of talent, right? The only caveat is, can they stay healthy? That's all you can say. That's it. But in terms of proven talent on this roster, if you have us outside of the top 10, you're either a Jets hater, which we understand, or they're looking at Aaron Rodgers and they've made it personal, which I think Florio, it's a combination of the two. But yeah, it's Aaron Rodgers, man, and it's the Jets. I think we just got to get used to the fact that we're newsworthy. Why we're newsworthy? Because us, the fan base, is going to react. We're going to generate clicks for the individuals who want to target the Jets. We're gonna engage. We can't help it. We're just built different, right? So I think we're an easy target that way. But at the end of the day, it's also the largest media market in the world in terms of being a New York sports team. And Aaron Rodgers is one of the most polarizing freaking players in a lot of sports. So yeah, it sucks, but they know what they're doing, and we're going to continue to engage. Even though we know that they're doing this to get us to engage, and we shouldn't, we're going to engage. We can't help ourselves. We're too passionate.
Oh, this fan base is just the best. Ladies and gentlemen, Underdog Fantasy has an awesome promo for first-time customers. When you use promo code Asman, they'll give you a 50% deposit match up to $250. You better sign up today, though, because they're giving you free money. All right, Alex Pereira, who headlines UFC 303 later, all he has to do is land one strike. He does that, you already have a W for your pick'em selection. Pair that up with another pick for either UFC, maybe something for baseball, any sport. Underdog Fantasy has that. If you're into the soccer with the Euros going on and the other tournament going on that USA is in, what is it? The CONCACAF? I don't even know what it's called. But anyway, Alex Pereira with something else, and you could win money. So, folks, Underdog Fantasy, you basically are just building a parlay. They call it a pick'em selection because it's not gambling at Underdog. It's a game of skill. That's important to note. Check it out. Download the app or just go to the website. Take advantage of the special. Once again, this is a site-wide special for UFC 303. All Pereira needs to do is basically show up, and you already have a win for your pick'em selection later tonight. Shout out to everyone who's going to be tuned in to UFC 303, and shout out to Underdog for being a part of our show. All right, more super chats are flying off the shelves. Ladies and gentlemen, Rick Kent with a $10 super chat. He writes in the following. Bobby's show last night was nothing short of amazing. The exchanges between the big fella Scott and King Lowski had us all cracking up. Gunny, always great to see you. Subscribe to his channel. Rick Kent.
Appreciate you, Rick. Thank you, Rick. Appreciate that.
We love it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what I'm told the Bobby show sounded like last night with all the laughter. Ladies and gentlemen, King Lowski, one of the greats. Big Fella wants to know how many to the next emoji. Big Fella, according to YouTube, we are either 5 or 10 away. It's not updating. So it's either 5 or 10.
And we're at 10.
So 10 away, according to Gunny. He's better at math than I am. So let's go with that. 10 away from the next emoji. Shout out to everyone who's tuned in to the show live, supporting us. Really appreciate it, especially when it's a little slow right now, as we all know, with June. But don't worry, folks. Training camp is upon us. We'll get there. We'll do this together. A Gump update from Tom Ace. Jenny is on the ledge after doing some drugs mid-1970s. Unreal. Ladies and gentlemen, you knew he was coming through. That's why he asked the question. The big fella, show us the money.
Show me the money. Show me the money! Money.
Damn.
Here we go. 10 memberships from the fella who is big. David Giron, Ernie, Monty Granado, Scott Inger, Michael Gordon, John Hardigan, Steve K, Jonathan Zambardi, Mike, Carl Bananas. You guys are all channel members, courtesy of the great big fella, TBF, the big fella coming through for the folks. All right, more calls before we wrap with Gunny. Devin is up next. What's up, Devin?
Oh, what's up, Jake?
Hey, Devin.
How you doing today on this fine Saturday? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Cool. Gunny, nice to meet you, brother.
Nice to meet you, Devin.
Hey, man, yo, Jake, you've just been on a roll lately with all these content creators, man. I love it, man. I just want to see these collabs go on during the regular season.
Oh,
of course.
Of course.
Hey, because Gunny and Green Bean be over there. I'll be loving it. You guys be killing it on Thursday nights. I'll be in the background of a lot of these guys, man. Jake is the only show that I really pop up on, be honest with you. I'm not like a me guy. But Jake, man, I just wanted to say to you, man, how good does it feel to have New York sports right now, bro? Like, being a Knicks fan, the pain that I've suffered as a 51-year-old man on this earth as a Knicks fan, that's the only basketball team I've ever loved, bro. And to have this hope that we have right now. So I just wanted to touch on that real quick because I know you've been talking about it earlier. And it's funny because at the end of your show yesterday, Elizabeth wanted to come on. She's not here right now. And but we caught you. There was like a delay because when I logged on, you were playing a Jets rap song, which is so fire. Who did that song? We caught it like
from yesterday. That was VR. VR's Jet.
VR. Oh, I gotta look at that, man. Yo, that was like to have a Jets anthem is real. I love it. So that was dope.
Thanks, Devin.
That was dope, bro. But yo, you should have seen my daughter getting down like yesterday. I wanted you to see that so bad. She was she was Gunny. She's 7, bro. She's 7 and she loves Jake. Matter of fact, when she finds out, if she finds out, because I don't know, I'm going to tell her that I was on here today because I'm not going to rewind it because I'm about to tell you something. I'm not gonna let her know because she gets mad. She gets like real mad at me, like big mad.
She's awesome. I can't wait to meet her at the Jets Texas game you guys are going to.
Bro, I'm gonna. So I just revealed to her yesterday, my wife and I, we revealed yesterday to her that we're taking her on this Disney cruise this summer.
Wow.
So that was dope.
Nice.
I didn't tell her about the game yet, man. I got big plans for her. Yo, I want this kid to have like a better life than I had. You know what I mean? Like
100%.
So that's what's real important.
100%.
And,
like seeing them smile and seeing them happy, man.
Word. Oh man, we recorded it. She got a call from Mickey. I recorded it. Oh man, it was dope.
Awesome,
it was so dope, bro. Like I just can't replace that for my 7-year-old. But anyhow, that was dope. But what she can't know about is why I'm calling you, Jake, is because I'm planning to go to that Miami game.
Mm-hmm.
Now I got a question. It's a 1:00 game, so I'm thinking I want to fly back on Sunday. I got a boy that lives in West Palm Beach, and he's supposed to let me know by the end of this weekend whether or not he's going to do that. I'm doing it regardless. The wife already said, yeah, you should do it. She pushed the button. Yo, I got a dope wife, man. Like I got a dope wife, Gunny. And
I already know you and I are going to be tight, Devin. I got to meet up with you. Is that Vegeta on your shirt? Is that Super Saiyan God mode Vegeta on your shirt?
Oh, hey, wow. You already know, my dude.
Okay, yeah, I can already tell me and Devon, we gonna be all right, me and him. We're gonna be okay.
You already know, my brother. Hey, man, I'm living my life, bro. Because you know what, man, I just figured out. Like you gotta live life the way you gotta live life.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I just got a couple more things I wanted to. So the Miami meetup, right? I want to leave Sunday, but I got logistic questions. Like, do I leave? If I leave on Sunday, what the hell am I doing with my bags from Saturday night? You know, I ain't bringing all that stuff to the game, and I'm gonna Uber.
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, maybe you know someone down there has a car that could store it in between, for the game, and then you could get it after the game.
That's if my boy comes.
Yeah,
he's an Atlanta fan, so you know he's like, it's 280, and he's an Atlanta fan, But I'm like, but I'm going.
I'm sure you'll meet someone that is in our Discord that's going that can help you out with that.
All right, I need y'all to hook me up with that because this is happening. Because this is gonna be the best football season of my life. I can feel it, and that's my last point that I wanted to make. Like the hope that Joe Douglas has given me, like to just, I understand that he has not done he has not done well. But bro, I've been a Jets fan for so fucking long. Excuse my language. I'm sorry. But for so long, and I had the hopes in the early 2000s.
On behalf of the Jake Asman Show, we apologize for the foul language.
So yeah, I love that. That's Jake. I love the show, man. Gunny, you got to be on here more. Yo, there's just like so many characters. I'm nothing, but I do appreciate that. So but that was the last thing I wanted to touch on, though, man. Like Joe is giving us so much hope. Like I've never felt this good about I'm making these plans because I already told you I'm not saying it anymore. I already given out my prediction, Gunny. It's crazy. That's my prediction, and I'm gonna stand by it. And by the way, after we beat down the 49ers week 1, who else we gonna fear? Who is there to fear?
That's the thing. If I'll say this. If the New York Jets hit the gate running and they beat the 49ers in week 1, I'm gonna be that dude you're gonna hear talking stupid stuff like 17. I'm gonna be that dude that's the dumb stuff.
That's where I'm at with it. Jake, I appreciate you, Gunny. I appreciate you. Thank you for having me on, man. Hey, you making these days go by so much better, bro. We come Monday, it's gonna be 23 days left, right?
Yep, 1 day at a time.
Yes, bro. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, Jay. Appreciate you, Gunny, man. You guys have a blessed day.
Out here doing God's work, man. He's doing God's work.
I appreciate that. Shout out to Devin. We love Devin, whether he's with his awesome daughter Elizabeth or not. Tremendous caller. Appreciate it. And he's right about my Knicks, Gunny. I love it. Our Knicks. Yeah. Let's go, baby.
Yeah, I've been excited about what they've done so far with the offseason, I guess, with free agency and the draft. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about next season.
No doubt.
Next steps. All about next steps.
Let me get caught up on a couple of super chats. I apologize to Dre. This got sandwiched in the membership bonanza, so I didn't see it. That sometimes unfortunately happens, but it's a good problem to have because it means people are getting memberships, which is awesome. Dre says, good morning, Jake and Gunny. Had a great birthday yesterday. Hey, let's go, Dre. I'm glad to hear that. Dre was rocking his Garrett Wilson number 5. I'm 49 and feeling fine. Gunny, will you be at any of the home games? Would love to meet you and chop it up.
Actually, yeah, I was talking to Jake before we actually went live. I'm looking to be there for the Texans game, and I'm going to be there for the season ender against the Miami Dolphins. I would like to go ahead and see the Jets. If it's it's a close, whoever wins and goes home type of thing, I want just to go ahead and send the Miami Dolphins home with that season ender. So I'll be at the season ender, and I'm looking right now working with Jake, potentially being there for the Texans game.
Yep, we're gonna get Gunny there hopefully, and he'll be a part of our big tailgate for that one. So looking forward to hopefully making that happen. Ladies and gentlemen, some more super chats. Another one from Dre who says, "Shout out to Vegeta. That's my guy, Devin. You rock." If you're a DBZ fan, Vegeta's everyone's guy. Come on.
I know a lot of people love Goku. You know what I'm saying? Gohan. Look, Vegeta's that dude, right? Vegeta is truly what I think the majority of us would be like if we had that level of power. So I ups to Vegeta for being real the entire time. The Prince of Saiyans. He's my guy.
Yeah, look, I love Goku too. Don't get me wrong, but I love Vegeta.
Oh yeah, 100%.
All right, come on now.
But Vegeta's that dude.
Big fella says, Gunny, never knew you liked anime. You watch JoJo.
No, but my daughter does. My daughter loves JoJo.
I don't think I'm familiar with JoJo.
Yeah, like I've walked in on her watching a couple of times and I've asked her what it was. It looks interesting, but I'm one of those guys I'd have to start to understand the storyline from the beginning. So I would have to go ahead and start it over. But like she seems to really, really like it, like a lot.
I like that. The shows I watched anime-wise growing up, DBZ, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, loved all of it. Yep.
One Punch Man, those were the ones that I grew up really enjoying.
Yep. Mother effing Chew. Oh, baby. One membership has been gifted. And when Chew gives a membership, the only thing we could do is simply do this.
Choo, mother effing Chew.
Giovanni Alcia just received a membership from Mother effing Chew. Okay, Gunny, do you got to go? Because I'm taking an hour and 10 minutes.
We're good, brother. We're good. I got some time.
Sweet. I appreciate you hanging out with us. Couple more calls here. Ladies and gentlemen, a legend is on the line. Scott joins us now. Hello, Scott.
What's up, Gunny? Jake the Snake, my brother. We're shaking, guys.
Haircut looks tremendous, Scott.
Looking good. Oh, it's looking good.
Yeah, it's wonderful, isn't it?
It is.
Oh.
Okay. There it is. There it is.
All right, let's just do it. Get over with.
All right, here we go. Yeah.
There you go.
What they want. Got to give the people what they want.
Hey, we're the pulse. We're the fans. That's the case. So, what's up, guys?
Well, you called the show, Scott, so you tell us.
All right. I was talking to GM. He wants you to call him, Jake, on air. No, this is legitimate. He wants you to call him. Did you
send me an email and I'll reach out to the GM of your place?
You will? Okay, because he wants to call you. He's like, we want you downstairs. There's 2 levels. Downstairs doesn't hear upstairs. The upstairs is a mezzanine. Like it's 2 different floors. You don't hear anything.
Have they caught the robber of your place of work yet, though, Scott? I don't know if I could show up with a robber on the loose.
I choose not to talk about that.
Well, this is concerning, Scott. I don't know if I can make a commitment to broadcast from your place of work if there's a robber on the loose.
Oh, Asman's going to make it happen. You're going to be here somehow, some way.
Okay.
So you're going to be downstairs, right across from the park, upstairs, downstairs, whatever you want to do. At some point, I don't know. He's like once a month. I don't know, whatever. But I need confirmation from all the Asmaniacs who's coming. I'll load the place up, standing room only. I don't care. I just want to say who's coming. Who's bringing friends, whatever. I really do think it's close. I'm not kidding.
Where are we going again, Scott?
Saratoga. You're going right at the bunker. It's an indoor golf facility, has 7 bays. You can do all that stuff, but it's basically a high-end bar. It's a bar. It's a party scene. Everyone can get down. It's cool.
And to be clear, you're not a suspect in the robberies right now.
No. I talked to the owner. It's fine. But the issue was I was on camera, and the camera was downstairs. We were doing a garbage run. I had linen, and the camera view was looking at the back of my head and saw my bun. And the guy who robbed the place, who we were talking to, we looked kind of similar. So on the camera, he saw my bun. He thought it was me. And I worked for him. That's how that happened.
Okay.
So I know you guys want to bust on me and all this stuff, but listen, I want everybody up here at some capacity. I don't know the date. I want everyone here. That's why I'm here. The Asmaniacs, Genergy, she laid it down for V, man. That was an awesome, articulate, I don't want to say rant, but what she said to V Man was just beautiful. So
did it bring tears of joy to you?
It was cool. She laid down her masters, English, Puerto Rican. She laid it down. Awesome. Phenomenal. So that's my point. I want everybody here. Who's coming? Who's not going to go? Who's bringing special guests? I talked to Jim. He's like, you know what, Scott? He's like, we can make it happen. Brandon.
Who's Brandon?
The general manager of the bunker at Saratoga. Troy's the owner. He owns 4. He wants 6 more in New Hampshire. And Brandon says, we can make it happen. We can make it happen. Get Jake here. Okay.
All right.
So, like I said, I told you, I said, I don't know anything. I just went on the show and said, wouldn't it be cool to get everybody here? The Asmaniacs. That's it. That's all I know. That's all Jake knows. That's all you know. He's like, I don't know. Let's have him call me. Have him contact me. Let's do it.
Snowball says he's not going. What are your thoughts?
It's not snowing. It's June, dude. You're going to be up here. We'll have Mr. Bonesy's Uber driver get you here, even with his Fox mask. You're going to be here, Snowball.
Well, Scott, thank you for the time. This was excellent.
No, I went on, Devin. Seriously, all serious enough. It's really close to happening. That's why I came on. I got to do my part, and I know you want the mayor. I know you do. And should I say something or no?
Scott, to be honest, I really don't know what you're saying right now.
At some capacity, you're going to be at the bunker doing your show in Saratoga. The date, whatever, I don't know. But the mayor has lunch at the bunker frequently, a couple times a week. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
You know, so things are in the working. Things are working out, I think, to the better. It's really close.
Let's catch this robber first before I go.
All right. Okay. I'll do you want me? Should I elaborate?
Robber, yes.
He was apprehended and released.
He was apprehended and released?
Yeah.
That's not good, Scott.
No, he's not going to do anything. And he wanted to say he would come back and rob again. But
why was he released?
Jake, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Well,
maybe
Scott,
I'm thinking.
Can't go.
Oh no, you're coming. I think for maybe a PR reason, just not have it in the papers, whatever.
A PR reason? He robbed your place of work. How was he just released?
It's not my call, dude. I have no clue. I was just told by a very good source. You know, like in media, my sources say this. Well, my source said this.
Of course.
And the media, I don't believe, but I'm part of it. So yeah, I that's the deal.
Well, Scott, thank you. Gunny, your thoughts on that call?
I was trying to keep up. I actually just Googled bunker in Saratoga trying to understand what was happening. I mean, the bunker in Saratoga Springs looks nice as all hell. Like, it's nice. It's really nice. So I'm assuming they want you to do a show at this location. But there was a robbery apparently at this location. And
yes,
until security is figured out, you're like, wait for security to get figured out before we do that. So yeah, I was just trying to understand because I thought that you had a conversation, I guess, beforehand. And I was just kind of walking. I was like, oh, okay, they must have talked before. So I'm over here Googling, trying to keep up. But yeah, it sounds like they want you to come do a show at the bunker in Saratoga Springs.
All right. I think that was my interpretation as well.
Yeah, that's what I got from it.
All right. Well, Gunny, I think that was a perfect call for you to end on. I appreciate you coming on, man. Tell people where they could find you and all about your channel for those who maybe aren't familiar with what you bring to the table.
Yeah, brother. So I am on the New York Jets situation report. I talk all things Jets and the AFC East. I do a Tuesday night show called Hangar Hangouts. Kicks off at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. I'm gonna be having a football analytics guest this week, talking about the quarterbacks of the AFC East and breaking down how he believes they're going to go ahead and play out this season. And from a little sneak peek he and I had, it looks like a lot of people are sleeping on Aaron Rodgers. He feels pretty good about what the analytics and the data tells him. So yeah, come check us out on Tuesday night. Hang out at the Hangar. I usually do content as well throughout the week on Wednesday nights. We do the New York Jets nightcap on Brewing Sports Network with the Jigga Man Porto, Abby, and of course Gino the Italy Jet. We have our little panel. We do a little nightcap on Wednesday nights as well. So check us out again. New York Jets situation report Tuesday nights, Wednesday nights, and I also put videos out randomly whenever a topic of interest kind of like hits my I guess my peak, right? So I go ahead and do a video on that. But as always, Jake, it's always a blast chopping it up with you, bro. Like it's never a dull moment whenever I get on your show. The production value is top tier. I got to step my game up. Always a pleasure, man. Thanks for having me again.
Gunny, you're the best. Thanks for coming on, dude. Have a great weekend.
Appreciate you. You too.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gunny from NY Jet Situation Report, hanging out with us here on a Saturday program. More of your calls before we wrap. Here we go, folks.
The only thing better than Alden's shoes is Joey D, cause he totally rules. Jake, my brother, I'm high as a kite. I love everybody. Damn, this show is crazy.
Joining us right now is not Mr. Bonesy, but Joe Bonesy. Hello, Joe Bonesy.
Jake, what's going on? Can you hear me?
Oh, we hear you loud and clear. Look at you calling in.
So, Mr. Bonesy is still home with his sick kids, taking care of them. It's just me at the store today. I'm the lone Bonesy here.
Wow.
He misses everybody here in the chat. He just wanted me to call in, remind everyone that Joey D has got 3 legs and it's kicking.
That's tremendous. How is the store today? Are we going to be busy on this Saturday?
It's been pretty quiet. I was trying to call in before, and I had a customer just walk in, but it's been pretty quiet so far. But as we all know, I hold down the fort anyway, even when Mr. Burns is here. So he's always tuned in.
He's too busy going on the Bobby show for all hours of the day.
He is. Honestly, last Saturday we had a good time hanging out on the Bobby Midnight show for like an hour or so. We were dead. So I'll probably tune in there too. What's up, Bobby?
I love it. So, Joe, we got to get you to become a regular caller so we could get a Joe Bonesy intro as well.
I know. I'm a very patient Jets fan, so I'm waiting to see what's happening. I'm kind of on the fence with Robert Saleh, Joe Douglas. I'm like you. So this is the year. They gotta fucking win. Sorry, they gotta get it done. Let's see what happens. I don't know what's gonna happen this year. Are they gonna stay healthy? Are they not? Who knows? We're gonna see. So once the season starts going, I'm definitely be calling in more.
Amen, Joe. I love it. Well, you have a hell of a day at the store, and I'll see you on the Bobby Midnight show.
Appreciate it, Jake.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Joe Bonesy checking in from Alden's. Folks, if you're in New York City, you have to make Alden's your destination to get some of the nicest shoes in the game. Love it. Hit the like button if you like that Joe Bonesy call right there. All right. Last chance to get in. Last chance to send in a super chat or potentially make it rain with some channel memberships. Ladies and gentlemen, Purple Belt Mike is up next on the show. What's up, Mike?
Yo, Jake, I just got to say, the best Dragon Ball Z character is Future Trunks.
Ooh, good call.
It's the best movie. He had the best scene when he killed Frieza. It's got to be Future Trunks. He is the GOAT.
I like that. Good take.
Catch you later. Let's go Jets, baby.
That's it? He just calling in with a DBZ take? I love it.
That's it.
Mike, who's got it better than you? You got the cigar, nice day. Look at you.
Look at my wife found me this stuffed artichoke.
Oh,
beautiful. I'm chilling right now, dude. I'm enjoying life. Great day to be alive. Can't wait for training camp to start. I'm good, man. I'm chilling.
I love it. Enjoy it, Mike. Enjoy it. Ladies and gentlemen, the great Purple Belt Mike doing his thing. Everyone wanted to know what that was. People were saying, is that a sweet potato? No, apparently it's an artichoke. Tom says that looks good. We have a potential brawl going on right now in the chat. Bernard, a.k.a. BMAC, is sparring with what appears to be Dave Briga. Dave says, BMAC, you have enough trouble with Allen. You don't need me. Be quiet. Wow. BMAC says, Dave, you're a punk. Who you got, Bernard or Dave? Mr. K with an Asmaniac free super chat of the month. Jake, love what you do, brother. Best content creator out here, my man. Thank you, Mr. K. There's a lot of great ones. I appreciate you tuning in. Rick wants to know, why is BMAC picking fights in the chat? BMAC, how do you handle the accusations that you're picking fights? Are we sure? I haven't been following. Are we sure it's BMAC picking the fight, or is Dave picking the fight with BMAC? That's the question. We need answers. I mean, these are the things we don't know. Tom writes in, Allen and Dave versus BMAC, 2-on-1 handicap match. Dave writes in, BMAC, you're a D-bag. Whoa, 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 Dave.
On behalf of the Jake Asman Show, we apologize for the foul language.
Come on. Family show. Family program. Roger with a great call right here. Jake, the chat's like training camp before they play against another team. Lots of infights. Yeah, we've had too much of nothing going on that the Asmaniacs are just going at each other. Unreal. Man. This is getting intense, folks. Very intense. All right. I think we're done here. We got to stop the infighting, folks. Can't have it. We're all on the same team. Shout out. Oh, God. BMAC goes, Dave, I will kick your ass.
On behalf of the Jake Asman Show, we apologize for the foul language.
Come on, BMAC. Why can't we be friends here, folks? Let's bring Bobby back on. I need him to sing. Bobby, give us a little, why can't we be friends?
Be friends. Why can't be friends? Why can't we be friends? Why we can be my friends? Hey, B-Mac, you asked me a question in private chat. I go in after Jake Asman Show. My name is Bobby Woodruff. Look me up, and you could come on. I like when Charles comes on. We have a good conversation. Then we have the other night on Friday night.
Yeah, then he just starts chewing and ruins it.
No, he ate dinner. He went dinner before he came back. He went to dinner, then he came back, and then he saw you.
Hey, Bobby, are you going to call Joe Bonesy at the store today?
Yeah, let's give him a call.
All right, give him a call later, all right?
Keep him company.
Yep. Looks like he's bored.
Yeah, I feel bad for the guy. He's a great guy.
Oh, we love Joe.
Yeah, we love you too.
Yep. All right, Bobby, I'll see you on your show, okay?
You coming on my show?
I'm going to pop in. I'm going to stop by.
All right, that's good. Sounds
all right.
good to me.
Can't wait.
Oh, you know I like the Yankees and the Jets. Can't believe Jake and Rogers met. I'm more than just a hat on Bobby.
Perhaps the BMAC beef will be settled on the Bobby show. Dre says I'm going Super Saiyan. Oh, yeah? Super Saiyan 1, 2, 3, 4. Really, let's be real. I only count 1 through 3. All right, I only count DBZ. Dragon Ball Z GT. Yeah, it doesn't do it for me. Come on now. Come on now. All right, that was going to be the last call, but Nate Nate just called in, so Nate's our last caller today. What's up, Nate?
What's up, Jake? Thanks for squeezing me in.
Yes, sir.
I had a quick question. So, I mean, shout out to you and Bobby and all the people. Bobby's been awake for like 30 hours and streaming for like 15 of them. I don't know if anyone was awake last night. Bobby went till like 7 a.m. and he said it at 9 p.m. He was going all night and stick to it. Shout out to Bobby for all the content. Jake, with your show, I watch your show all the time, so it's always on my like YouTube feed, or sometimes it's on my phone, and then I switch to my computer, and it's like when you click YouTube, it'll be the first thing up because you were just watching it. YouTube has like shadow banned your show from my YouTube algorithm. Like, unless I type your name, like I can't do notifications. I don't get, and I don't see you on my YouTube. Like I said, if I'm on my phone and I switch to my computer, no matter how many times I click the homepage, you won't show up unless I like actually search your name in the search box now. And I think I remember Dana or someone having an issue with this. I just want to know if anyone else had this issue with like you just like being out of the algorithm. And everything is Jets content on my feed. It's just all these smaller stuff is popping up, and they seem to like, I don't know if you said the C word too much or we're talking politics too much, but it's like you're just gone from my YouTube feed.
That's so weird because I've never heard that before.
Maybe it's just me.
I mean, we don't say the C word at all, and we don't do any politics on the show. So like, I don't think
right.
that would
just
do anything.
That's weird. All right, I just want to see if anyone, I guess, in the chat was having that.
Well, Snowball says same issue. Hector says same thing happens to me. I'm not sure. Maybe it's
last week. You used to. I could be in like the waiting room. If 5 people were in your waiting room, you would be the first thing to pop up. Or like I said, if I switch from phone to computer, you're always kind of like first thing to pop up. And now I've been late to most of your shows this week because I have to. If I'm not in, I don't have Discord notifications. I have to like search your name. I'm like, oh, it's 11:30. Where's Jake? And then I search Jake Asman, and you're live for an hour already. And I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, that's weird.
Everything on work.
Big fella says I don't know. I don't know. I wish I had an answer for this. I could reach out to someone that might have an answer and get some clarification.
Tell your people to speak to your YouTube people and figure out something.
Yeah, we'll try. I mean, the YouTube thing is weird. Let's see. I guess if you go into subscriptions, Tom says the live show pops up. So maybe just hit the subscription button first when you get to YouTube and see if that does it.
Right. All right. I'll try that. Well, appreciate it, Jake. I don't know how much Jets talk for you today. There's not much going on, but
I love it. How's the Upper West Side of Manhattan on this fine day?
It's beautiful. It's actually, when you're in the city, it's not like 98 degrees the last.
Yesterday was awesome. It was beautiful out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an amazing day to get out and enjoy the 60 or 70 degrees, not going in and out of ACs on Broadway every couple minutes because it's scorching out there.
Yeah. All right, Nate. Well, thanks for the heads up. We'll work on this.
Yeah. Thank you. Have a good one.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nate checking in. Tom says Jake's people have to iron out the Saratoga stuff prior to YouTube. Amen. There's a robber on the loose. I can't go to Saratoga until that guy is apprehended, not just released from prison. Mike D's Nuts checks in. Grown men talking about fighting in a chat is so lame. Weird. Blitz BK, I had to search your name today. This is weird. I wish I had an answer. I mean, try and turn notifications on. Obviously, if you're on my Discord, I post when I'm going live, so you always get it there. I don't know. So we'll see. Anyway, fun show. A lot of people talking about the robbery in Saratoga. We need answers. There's no doubt about that. The plan is to be back tomorrow, I think. No guarantees. I think I'll squeeze in a Sunday show, though. And then we're obviously back to normal schedule beginning Monday. Fialco is going to join us on Monday this week because of July 4th with the holiday. We're moving some things up to figure that out. So we'll have some content all throughout the week. Obviously, it's the holiday, so maybe we only do one show on Thursday or Friday, give people a little time off. But we plan to keep being consistent. And then when we get to training camp, you guys know how it goes. Full speed ahead with the daily content, continuing multiple times a day. Breaking news, we go live as quickly as we can, as long as I'm not on radio already. So it's going to be wild. So hit the like button. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Join the Patreon if you haven't done so, because that is a great way to stay connected with your fellow Jet fans, find out about meetups, find out about behind-the-scenes stuff that you don't get on YouTube, bonus shows, etc. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show is the place to do that. All right. That does it for me. Enjoy your Saturday, everybody. Go Yankees. Enjoy the UFC. If you're a Met fan, in Grimace we trust. And I'll talk to you guys most likely tomorrow, but if not, certainly on Monday. JETS, Jets. And now, without further ado, let's revisit the robbery in Saratoga.
Last night, I spoke to the GM. That's that.
I look forward to it. Now, is there any update on the robbery at your place of work? Have they caught the criminal?
Yeah, I was actually a suspect. Yeah,
Of course you
I'm
do.
I'm not even kidding. And yeah, there's we look similar. I was, obviously we were both on camera, and we're similar skin, size, stature, etc. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, I was a suspect.
To be clear, you're not a convicted criminal, though. You were not being charged for robbery.
It's luck of the draw, dude. Any place get robbed. It's
That's what I'm saying.
It is what it is. But the thing is, though, he saw my bun. I was on camera, so I was talked to. That's all I'm going to say.
Scott, I don't like where this is going. You're no longer giving us a lot of information. It leads me to believe that you are actually a suspect in this investigation.
I was.
Right, but I think you still are. I don't think you've been exonerated.
No, it's just the way that it happens, dude.
Scott, I don't know if I could go up to the Saratoga region with a robbery, case ongoing, and you might be a suspect. How do I know? How do I know I'm not being set up to be robbed?
Everyone's got to get up here.
Not with a robber on the loose.
It is what it is, man.
Thank you for the time, Scott. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Let's talk about buttered sausage. Talk about buttered sausage, where it comes from, what it does. Why is it doing what it's doing? Get it out of my face. What about buttered sausage?
Only on this show, dude. Only on this show.
It's not my jam. I don't buy jam. I buy honey, and I kiss it on the lips.
Calm your freaky down.